We would also like to welcome our Zoom participants who are in right now in different locations. We are gathered here today to celebrate and to witness the joining of bride and groom in marriage, as they promise to love, trust in that love, honor one another as individuals, and anticipate with joy spending the rest of their lives. They are surrounded by you, their friends, and family. Thank you for gathering here to witness their marriage and to share in the joy of this special occasion. At this point, let us now witness the bridal march.
It is a great honor and privilege to be part of this memorable and joyous occasion for both David and Jevelyn. Let's remember this date, December 7, 2022. A very special moment for both of you. And because of that, we would like to commend David and Jevelyn, for a very good preparation, an honorable preparation. And of course, all the brothers and sisters, the elders, your congregations, both your congregations of David and Jevelyn for the support, family members, friends, who supported this event for David and Jevelyn. This morning when I woke up, I felt a little nervous. How about you, David and Jevelyn? All right, so we can understand. For me, I felt nervous because this is not the usual talk that we give. When I give wedding talks, it's usually in Cebuano, in our language. And this is different because this is English. But because this is a very special event, and a very good gift from Jehovah, the marriage and wedlock, perhaps my nervousness has a little disappeared for David and Jevelyn. And this is about to be completed or finished, right? What you have started. I remember there was one expert who had a talk similar like this, perhaps around 100 people, and he asked the question, what is the difference between the word complete and the word finished? Perhaps you know, David and Jevelyn, the difference between the word complete and the word finished. Or perhaps we can ask the witnesses. Perhaps they know. They are the veterans here. Would you know the difference between the word complete and the word finished? Or shall I answer it? Would you like to answer, David?
This might not be the correct answer, but complete the starting and the finish is in death. No?
Well, you have a point. Okay. I will not ask the witnesses because they might be stressed. They might be pressured. Well, that expert answered his own question. He said, when you found the right woman, you are complete. But when you found the wrong woman, you are finished. That's the difference. Well, we can relate because the moment Adam saw Eve, the first marriage done by Jehovah God, he was able to say very good phrase or wordings. Perhaps I will let David read Genesis 2:23. If you won't mind, David, please. This is the moment that Adam saw for the first time Eve. Genesis 2:23, please, David.
Then the man said, "This is at last the bone of my bones, the flesh of my flesh. This one would be called woman, because from man she was taken."
All right, thank you, David. Thank you for standing. Huh? I appreciate that. Well, in Cebuano, the term used is kini, ang bukog, sa akong bukog. Sa English, medyo kalmar kayo nga pagkasulti, no? This is the bones of my bones. That is when Adam saw David. But we are assured that when you saw Javelin, that was also your expression. This is Javelin at last. Right, David? Am I right? Yes. Now, why can we really say that wedlock marriage is a very important, very memorable occasion? Why can we say that? Because wedlock or marriage is one of Jehovah's provisions, one of Jehovah's sweetest gift that He gave to His earthly children. That is stated at Genesis 1:26. I will read what Jehovah said, no? Genesis 1:26. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have in subjection the fish of the sea, and the flying creatures of the heavens, and the domestic animals in all the earth, and every creeping animal that is moving on the earth." Can you imagine the gift that Jehovah gave, the commission, the assignment that Jehovah? It's a very happy and lasting assignment, right? So therefore, wedlock really, or marriage really, is one of the best gifts that Jehovah gave to His earthly children. But even if Adam is perfect, he needs a complement. He needs somebody to help him to fill the earth and subdue it, to accomplish that assignment. And this is the first time that Jehovah used the word not good. In all the creations that Jehovah made, it was all good, right? All the terms, the phrases that were used are good. But for the first time, at Genesis 2:18, I will read. This is the first time that Jehovah used this phrase. Jehovah God said, "It is not good for the man to continue to be alone." Have you noticed? The first time that Jehovah used the word or the phrase, "not good for the man to continue to be alone. I am going to make a helper for him as a complement of him." So in short, Adam needs Eve and Eve needs Adam. Just like David, you need Javelin and Javelin needs David. Right? So, Jehovah God brought the first couple together and performed the first marriage ever. This was written at Genesis 2:21 and 22. I will read the marriage proceeding that Jehovah God made. 21:22, verses 21-22. So Jehovah God caused the man to fall into a deep sleep, and while he was sleeping, he took one of his ribs and then closed up the flesh over its place. And Jehovah God built the rib that he had taken from the man into a woman, and he brought her to the man. Have you noticed the wedding procedure? Jehovah God here is the parent, the father of Eve, and he brought Eve to the man, Adam. And this is what also we did, right? Javelin was brought by her parents to David. So the same procedure, right? The marriage procedure. But the question now is this marriage provision a temporary one? Or is this a permanent union? The answer is stated at Genesis 2:24. I will read Genesis 2:24, that this is a permanent union. It says, "That is why a man will leave his father and his mother, and he will stick to his wife, and they will become one flesh." This phrase, the last phrase here, indicates a permanent union. This is not a temporary union, right? I think we have discussed this a few days ago with David and Javelin. The husband and wife is a very special kind of relationship that Jehovah God made. For father and son, no matter how close you are, you can never become one. For mother and daughters, no matter how close you are, you can never become one. For brothers and sisters, you can never become one, no matter how close you are. But for husband, for David and Javelin, the provision here is a permanent union. Two flesh will become one. And that is a permanent provision or union. Now, can we really rely that this permanent union will be full of love, will be happy, and honorable? Definitely. Why? Because Jehovah God, the originator of marriage, is the God of love. According to 2 Corinthians 13:11, Jehovah God is the God of love. And He is also a happy God, according to 1 Timothy 1:11. So we can be assured that your marriage, our marriage, will be full of love and happiness because our Creator has that qualities. It reflects those qualities. And therefore, we can be assured that we can have an honorable marriage that reflects these qualities. Now, since we have mentioned the word or the phrases like love, happiness, honorable, let's talk about love. David, did you know that you are not the first love of Javelin? Yes, you are aware. And Javelin, you know that you are not the first love of David? You are aware. But the more important question is, who is your first love? Yes, very good. And also is Javelin. Right. And what is the principle behind? Let's read Matthew chapter 22, verse 36. I will read 36 to 40. Okay, and this is for all of us. It says at verse 36, Jesus was asked by his disciples and the people around him at that time. It says, "Teacher, which is the greatest commandment in the law?" 37, he said to him, "You must love Jehovah your God with your whole heart and with your whole soul and with your whole mind." 38, this is the greatest and first commandment. That answers the question. So, who is your first love? It's Jehovah God. Javelin, your first love is Jehovah God. And that goes for all of us. Our first love should be Jehovah God. And who is your second love? If Amy asked David, who is your second love?
It's either Jesus or Jubilee.
All right. But this time, your second love is Javelin. Okay, Javelin, your second love is David. What is the basis? At verse 39, let's continue reading. It says, the second, like it, is this: you must love your neighbor as yourself. Who is your closest neighbor? David, your closest neighbor is Javelin. And Javelin, your closest neighbor is David. So your second love, both of you, is your mates, your spouse. Yes, no? And on verse 40, it says, on these two commandments, the whole law hangs and the prophets. Okay, so we have now established our first love is Jehovah. Our second love is your mates. Okay, now let's talk about honorable. When we talk about honorable, the main word there is the word honor. In the world today, they don't put much emphasis on honor or honorable marriage in the world. But it is very much in contrast with us, Jehovah's Witnesses. We put much emphasis in the word honor, right? In the world, they say that babies first before nest. But for the birds, unsa sa birds? Birds first before nest. So we can say that the birds are better than the world. Right? Because for the birds, they prepare first for their nest, then the babies. But for the world, babies first before the nest. Right? And that we do not follow that kind of arrangement by the world today. I will read Ecclesiastes chapter 4 verse 9 to 12. You can also follow, brothers and sisters, no? It says at verse 9, two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their hard work. For if one of them falls, the other can help his partner up. But what will happen to the one who falls with no one to help him? Verse 11, moreover, if two lie down together, they will stay warm, but how can just one keep warm? This is very practical. Verse 12, and someone may overpower one alone, but two together can take a stand against him, and a threefold cord cannot quickly be torn apart. So the illustration here is a cord or a rope. Sa Binisaya pa, pisik, no? So I have here a rope. So this is what is stated at Ecclesiastes, no? So if you notice, the verse says that if it is only one, usually a rope has three cords, right? If you have only one cord, let's say David, one cord, that's okay, but it can easily be overtaken. If you have two cords, it's okay, but it is not that strong, because both of these are imperfect, right? But if you have that first honor, the perfect person in the middle or a party of the marriage, so you are three, that's Jehovah God, what will happen? A very strong rope, right? But we all know that the rope needs maintenance, right? No? You have to clean it. You have to put some oil, right? So in marriage, we also need oil. to maintain the marriage. What is the oil? It is the Bible. This is referred as the oil, right? So therefore, the advice here, David and Jevelin, and for all of us married couple here, we have you, David and Jevelin, should study the Bible together, should pray together, should have a family worship together, because this will draw you closer to each other and to Jehovah God. Right? So, Jehovah God is our first honor. Now, the second honor, of course, we have already established your second honor is your mate. So, let's discuss your role, David. Okay? As the husband. A husband who gains deep respect. Well, the basis for this talk is based on the Secret of Family Happiness book. I would recommend that you review this, no, David and Jevelin. Perhaps you can have this as your family worship, no? From pages 31 and up, you can review this, and for all of us, this is very good, no? Okay. Now, your role, David, is stated at 1 Corinthians 11:3. I will read 1 Corinthians 11:3. It says, "But I want you to know that the head of every man is the Christ. In turn, the head of a woman is the man. In turn, the head of the Christ is God." So what is your role as the husband? The husband is appointed by God as a loving head of the family. So remember, David, no, your role is being appointed by God as the loving head of the family. So you are the licensed one, licensed head of the family. Jevelin cannot be the head of the family. You have no license to become the head of the family, right? The headship involves using sound judgment based on the Bible, taking lead in loving and kind way. So this is very, very important for us husband, for you, David, no? Because the term used here is head. I don't see any term that is being used as king. No, there is no king. No. So therefore, you are the head of Jevelin. You're not the king of Jevelin. Right, no? Sabihin ni Saya pa, why maghari-hari, no? Dili maghari-hari, no? Tama ba? No? Kaya wa man tag-ingon dito nga hari. Gingon lang dito nga ulo sa pamilya. Okay? So we have that understanding. Okay? So being the head of the family, that involves supplying or providing your family spiritual needs of Jevelin and the whole family, material needs, emotional needs, and recreational needs of the family. Right? Okay. And of course, Christian headship does not permit a man to be tyrant. So this is one of the examples of Jesus Christ. Okay. Now the key here, David, is humility. Now, for us husbands, the key here is humility. They say that pride makes us artificial, but humility makes us real. That's very good sayings. No? Now, there is one statement from Proverbs 15:17. In the course of your happy marriage, it says, Proverbs 15:17, "Better is a dish of vegetables where there is love than a fattened bull where there is hatred." It means that husbands, David, should follow Christ's example of being humble, of humility. Your role is emphasized at Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25, 28, and 29. Would you please read it, Brother David? Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25, 28, and 29.
Husbands, continue loving your wives, just as Christ also loved the congregation and gave himself up for it, The same way, husbands should love their wives as their own bodies. A man who loves his wife loves himself. For no man ever hated his own body, but he feeds and cherishes it, just as the Christ does the congregation.
Yeah, thank you very much. So, what are the lessons there? What are the takeaway points that we can have for that? It says that Jesus was willing to give his life for the congregation and for the groom, for the bride. Right? So, David and husbands should follow the example of Jesus' headship, as emphasized at Ephesians 5, verse 25, 28, and 29. We notice that Jesus Christ unselfishly put others' benefits first, right? So he did not put his benefit or for his own benefit first. He put others' benefit first. This is stated at Romans 15, 1 to 3. I will read Romans 15, 1 to 3. It says, "We, though, who are strong, ought to bear the weaknesses of those not strong, and not to be pleasing others. Let each of us please his neighbor for his good, to build him up. For even the Christ did not please himself, but just as it is written, the reproaches of those reproaching you have fallen upon me." So we follow Jesus' example on headship to put benefits of others first rather than on our own benefits. I remember there was one study that was made regarding this one. There was an experiment, perhaps a crowd like this, 100 people, and they were given one balloon each with same color. Perhaps we can put a rusty color balloons. So everybody was given a balloon. And the instruction of the facilitator is that you put your name, your personal name on your balloon. So for example, I put there Bong. And then David, you also put your name in the balloon. Then Jevelyn, put your name in the balloon. And for Ophelia, you put your name on the balloon. And for Eric, perhaps you put your name on the balloon. And the instruction is to gather around and to put all the balloons at the middle. And the facilitator mixed all the balloons. And the instruction was given: look for your balloon and get your balloon that bears your name. And you're given a time frame, a very short time frame. What do you think happened? Can you imagine what happened? Can you get your balloon with your name? Of course you cannot, because it would be chaos, right? Gubot yun na siya kayo. Then the facilitator stopped the audience. Okay, stop. The next instruction was, just pick one balloon. Just one. So everybody pick just one balloon, no matter whose name is it. And so, for example, I picked one balloon, and then I saw the name of the balloon. It says David. Then I gave the balloon to David. Then David looked at the balloon that he got, and he saw the name of Jevelyn. So you gave that balloon to Jevelyn. Then Jevelyn looked at the balloon that she got. It says Ophelia. Then she gave to Ophelia. Then Ophelia, and to the rest. Can you imagine, in just a few minutes, the distribution of the balloon was done in a very organized way. What is the takeaway there? What is the lesson there? The lesson there is that if you put yourself first, the first scenario will happen. But if you put the others' benefit first, just as Jesus did, you can have a very good relationship for married couple. Like David and Jevelyn, you put your Jevelyn's benefits first, and Jevelyn, you put David's first benefit. You can have a very good, happy, loving, and honorable marriage. Another example of Jesus that we should follow as husband, David. Jesus was mild-tempered and a source of refreshment, as is stated at Matthew 11:29. So therefore, Christian husband is to love their wife as his own body. Right? no sane man hates or is brutal to own body, but feels the needs of the others. Sometimes there are some problems as you go on with your married life. It's not all happy moments, right? There are some problems. Marriage is likened to a cruise ship. You know a cruise ship, right? A very nice ship docked in the ports. That is a very nice ship, but it can only be tested if it's worthy, if it is tested in a storm, right? So that is likened to a marriage, that it will only be tested if you go through difficulties also, or storms in life, and that will determine how you move on, how you trust in Jehovah, how you follow Jesus' example, will be shown as you encounter storms in life. Okay, at Colossians 3:19, husbands should not be violently angry with wife in word or action, should not downgrade your wife. I will read Colossians 3:19 for the benefit of all of us. You husbands, keep on loving your wives and do not be bitterly angry with them. Okay, so it's very important that you will not let Jevelin cry. In Cebuano, ayaw pahilaka si Jevelin. At the same manner, you do not let David cry also, Jevelin. No? Do you know that the most expensive water in the world, do you know what is that kind of water? The most expensive water is the tears. Why? Because the tears comprises 1% water but 99% emotion. So, ayaw pahilaka itong mga kapikas, no? Okay, so now we're through with David's role as husband. We now go to the role, the second honor, Jevelin, no? So what is your role, Jevelin? It is also stated here at Secret of Family Happiness, page 34 to 35. You can review this. Okay, a wife who is dearly loved. Mahal juga ika ni David, no? Okay, the Bible shows the role in marriage is an honorable and dignified one for wives, for Jevelin, no? Christian husbands told to assign your wife honor. I will read 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7. Okay, 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7. It says, you husbands, in the same way, continue dwelling with them according to knowledge. Assign them honor as to a weaker vessel. This is the point. You assign honor to Jevelin as to a weaker vessel, the feminine one. Okay, so that is your role, no? As a wife, you as a wife is a complement. Wife is a complement. Wife is not a slave or an inferior person. So Jevelin is not a slave, but he is your wife, a complement. Remember, David, that you married the bride. You did not marry the maid of honor. In the Philippines, you know what is the word maid? Maid, M-A-I-D. You don't know, no? I'll explain. In the Philippines, we used to hire maid or housekeeper. Perhaps in your place, it's housekeeper. We pay them to do household chores. So you married the bride, not the maid of honor. So that's the point, no? As we read 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 7. Now, Jevelin, you have to recognize the headship principle. You have the headship principle, no? It is stated at Ephesians 5:22 to 24. We will request Jevelin to please read Ephesians chapter 5 verse 22 to 24. You may just sit down, Jevelin, please.
Let wives be in subjection to their husbands as to the Lord, because a husband is head of his wife, just as the Christ is head of the congregation, he being a Savior of his body. In fact, as the congregation is in subjection to the Christ, wives should also be to their husbands in everything.
Yes. Okay, so Javelin or wives should recognize the headship principle, right? Ang pinaka-head yun na to is Jehovah God. And then the head of Jesus Christ is Jehovah God, right? And then Jesus Christ is the head of the congregation or the head of the husband. And the husband is the head of the wife. It cannot be interchanged. It cannot be interchanged. That is the headship principle that we should follow. So therefore, there is also a relative subjection, right? Relative subjection is a divine commandment. So it is good for human. So we have to follow the pinaka-head, it's Jehovah God. So if there's an instruction from the head here that that does not follow Jehovah God's directions, we all know that we have to follow Jehovah's protection and guidance or directions. It says it's a relative subjection is the divine commandment. Because without leadership or without headship, the result is discord, confusion, and unhappiness. Okay. Now, what kind of respect is that? It is stated at Ephesians 5:33. What kind of respect is that? Please read.
Nevertheless, each one of you must love his wife as he does himself. On the other hand, the wife should have deep respect for his husband.
Yes, that's the point. That's the main point there. The deep respect. No? So this is the kind of respect. Laom yun na pagrespeto kang David for husband. You show it by cooperation, by not competition. You show it by cooperation, coordination. You coordinate with David. You cooperate with David. You be considerate with David. Okay? So that's how you have a deep respect for David. When David errs or when he commits mistake, you will not belittle David. You have to be understanding. Okay? So do not belittle your husband if we commit mistakes. They say we have to be rich in commendation but slow in condemnation. Okay. So Christian wife is a helper to work with your husband. So Javelin, you should be a good housekeeper also. Good budgeting, good manager in your home, in your house. In the world, they have their marriage, they call it a marriage workshop in the world. What do they mean by marriage workshop? The husband work, the wife shops. That is not what we do. That is not what we do for Christian wives, no? We have to be good in budgeting, and you have to support David, okay? You can contribute much to make your home pleasant and happy by supporting David and by making your house organized and good housekeeping, good budgeting. You have to look for your husband for decisions, and when David has that decision, you have to support that decision. Back it up. As long as it does not contradict with Jehovah's directions, back it up. Okay, so that's your role, Javelin. Now, we are finished with the first honor. We are finished with the second honor. Who is the third honor? So anybody can answer. Who is the third honor? It's my third honor. Okay. The third honor here is stated at Ephesians chapter 6, verse 2 and 3. I will let David read perhaps. Ephesians chapter 6, verse 2 to 3.
Honor your father and your mother is the first commandment with a promise, that it may go well with you and you may remain a long time on earth.
Yes. So the third honor is our parents. We should not forget our parents, no? Even if you will become one flesh, if you will live outside of your father and your parents, but we should not forget our parents. It says here, honor your parents. David has your family, right? So Jevelyn should honor that family. Jevelyn also has her family, so David should honor that family. Okay? Because this is not just a marriage between David and Jevelyn. This is a marriage between Graves family and Labadora family, Jevelyn's family. Alright? Okay. Now, lastly, there is one trait or virtue that you should clothe yourselves. It is stated at Colossians chapter 3 verse 12 to 14. You have to cultivate this one. We have to cultivate this one. I will read. Accordingly, as God's chosen ones, holy and loved, clothe yourselves with the tender affection of compassion, kindness, humility, mildness, and patience. Continue putting up with one another and forgiving one another freely, even if anyone has cause for complaint against another. Just as Jehovah freely forgave you, you must also do the same. But besides all these things, clothe yourselves with love, for it is a perfect bond of union. So what is it? Clothe yourselves with love. There are so many aspects why we clothe ourselves, but there are main reasons why we clothe ourselves. Number one, clothing protects the body. You can just imagine if we have no clothing today, we have no protection. And so it is likened to love. Love protects your marriage, safeguards your marital unity. That's one function of love. The second is, clothing can also enhance the beauty. It enhances the beauty. Have you noticed when Jevelyn entered the room, because of that gown? Jevelyn is beautiful, but with that gown, it enhanced the beauty of Jevelyn. Everybody said, wow. Especially David. Wow. Right? It enhances the beauty. Love can add luster to your marriage, to God's marvelous provision of marriage. So therefore, you have to look ways to show love for your mate every day. No, sweet things, sweet words, small words. Set aside time to daily talk to each other. Really listen to each other. Make it a habit to show kindness in little things, such as by tender words and acts of affection. Doing so will strengthen marriage, because according to 1 Corinthians 13, 4 to 8, the last part there, love never fails. Okay, so that concludes our talk on the title, Honorable Marriage in God's Sight. Okay, so are you ready for the moment? David and Jevelyn, you have been waiting for this. We call this the wedding procedure before vows. Do you, David John Graves, in the presence of Jehovah God and these witnesses, take Jevelyn Bartolazzo Labadora to be your wedded wife, to love and to cherish, in accordance with the divine law as outlined in the Holy Scriptures for Christian husbands, for as long as you both may live?
I do.
Okay. Do you, Jevelyn Bartolazzo Labadora, in the presence of Jehovah God and these witnesses, take David John Graves to be your wedded husband, to love and to cherish and deeply respect, in accordance with the divine law as outlined in the Holy Scriptures, for Christian wives, for as long as you both may live?
I do.
Yes. I
David Graves,
take you
Jevelyn Labadora,
to be my wedded wife,
to be my wedded wife,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
in accordance with the divine law
in accordance with the divine law
as set forth in the Holy Scriptures,
as set forth within the Holy Scriptures,
for Christian husbands,
for Christian husbands,
for as long as we both
for as long as we both
shall live together
shall live together
on earth
on earth
according to God's marital arrangements.
according to God's marital arrangements.
I
I, Jeveline Labadora,
take you
take you, David Graves,
to be my wedded husband,
to be my wedded husband,
to love and to cherish,
to love and to cherish,
and deeply respect,
and deeply respect,
in accordance with the divine law,
in accordance with the divine law,
as set forth in the Holy Scriptures,
as set forth in the Holy Scriptures,
for Christian wives,
for Christian wives,
for as long as we both
for as long as we both
shall live together on earth,
shall live together on earth,
according to God's marital arrangements.
according to God's marital arrangement.
This ring or rings is an outward and visible sign signifying unto all the uniting of this man and this woman in the bonds of matrimony. Please proceed.
Under the stars, I see everything that led to where we are, and I wouldn't change a thing. Under the moon, all the wishing that we did is coming true, like I got magic up my sleeve. And you can't fight the moonlight when it's moving in, and the feeling you're giving me, I'm giving in. You got me dancing with no shoes tonight, out here in the street, taking chances like we're kids tonight, like we're 17. Every day that I'm with you, everyone can see, they can see that you bring out the best in me.
mother of the bride will take her daughter's hand for a dance.
I could have my Gucci on. I go wear my Louis Vuitton. But even with nothing on, bet I made you look. I made you look. I'll make you double take soon as I walk away. Call up your chiropractor just in case your neck break. Ooh, tell me what you gonna do? Ooh. Cause I'm about to make a scene, double up that sunscreen. I'm about to turn the heat up, gonna make your glasses steam. Ooh, tell me what you gonna do? Ooh. When I do my walk, I can guarantee your job will drop. Cause they don't make a lot of what I got. Ladies, if you feel me, this your pop. I could have my Gucci on. I go wear my Louis Vuitton. But even with nothing on, bet I made you look. I made you look. Yeah, I look good in my Versace dress. But I'm hotter when my morning hair's a mess. Cause even with my hoodie on, bet I made you look. I made you look. And once you get a taste, you'll never be the same. This ain't that ordinary, this that 14 karat cake. Ooh, tell me what you gonna do? Ooh, when I do my walk, I can guarantee your job will drop. Cause they don't make a lot of what I got. Ladies, if you feel me, this your I could have my Gucci on. I could wear my Louis Vuitton. But even with nothing on, bet I made you look. Said I made you look. Yeah, I look good in my Versace dress. But I'm hotter when my morning hair's a mess. Cause even with my hoodie on, bet I made you look. Said I made you look.
Sorry, Brother David and Brother Jubilin Graves, na ulahi ang akong message. So, congratulations, no, to Mr. and Mrs. David Graves and Sister Jubilin Graves. Now, I would like to share words from Proverbs 24 verse 4. It says, by knowledge will the interior rooms be filled with all precious and pleasant things of value. In Cebuano, pinaagi sa kahibalo, ang mga kwarto niini mapuno sa tanang klase sa bililhon og nindot nga mga butang. So, what are these precious things of value? They are not just material treasures, but these include one, true love, or tinuod nga gugma. Two, godly fear, or just nung kahadlok. And three, strong faith, or ligong pagtuo. Such qualities truly create a rich family life. Thank you, and once again, congratulations and May Day. Originator of marriage, Jehovah God, be praised. Thank you.
From this moment, life has begun. From this moment, you are the one. Right beside you is where I belong. From this moment on, from this moment, I have been blessed. I live only for your happiness and for your love. I'd give my last breath. From this moment on, I give my hand to you with all my heart. I can't wait to live my life with you. I can't wait to start. You and I will never be apart. My dream came true because of you. From this moment, as long as I live, I will love you. I promise you this, there is nothing I wouldn't give. From this moment on, you're the reason I believe in love, and you're the answer to my prayers from up above. All we need is just the two of us. My dream came true as long as I live. From this congratulations. I was down and out and feeling so low. You took my hand and eased my mind. I was astray, you showed me the way. Now I finally found my home in you. I still recall me whole and made me your own. Now look at me, yes, a different me, back on my feet again. I'm not afraid to face the world again, 'cause you taught me how to be strong. Make me live again. Live again.
Just hold on, you got a ways to go. Gotta hold your lives to get it right. And honey, don't be scared of feeling wild. With your kids on the run, we've only just begun. We just begun. We just begun. And honey, don't be scared of feeling wild. With your kids on the run, we've only just begun. We just begun. We just begun. We just begun. We just begun. Open your eyes, that what you feel is not a wonder. Maybe it's just your love that's gone. All can be right, but you carry feelings through your heart. What do you think about it? Do you think better to hide and cry? What are you doing about yourself? Baby, you can tell me. Don't be so afraid and don't cry. Don't cry, this is my life. Don't cry. You will be better, not to lose your mind. Don't cry. What do you think about it? Do you think better to hide and cry? What are you doing about yourself? Baby, you can tell me. Don't be so afraid and don't cry. Don't cry, this is my life. Don't cry. You will be better, never lose your mind. Baby, you can feel me. Maybe you can see me. Don't cry. Lose me forever. Don't forget my eyes. Don't cry. You will be better, never lose your time. Baby, you can feel me. Maybe you can see me. Don't cry. Don't cry. This is my life. Don't cry. You will be better, never lose your mind. Baby, you can feel me. Maybe you can see me. Don't cry. Lose me forever. Don't forget my eyes. Don't cry. You will be better, never lose your time. Baby, you can feel me. Maybe
Napasalamat ako sa akong anak nga naplastar sa maayong pagkaplastar sa iyang kamingaon. Hinatunta nga malambuon sa maabot. Daghan kayong salamat.
Well, first of all, a very big thank you for coming along and joining this a very special day of Jevelyn's and mine, and indeed enjoying yourself as well. So thank you, brothers and sisters. I'd also like to say thank you to her congregation for looking after her during the years It's always lovely to know how united in love we are, as we've been told, and to the smiles that I know that you've given Jeevelyn, and the hugs during the difficult times. I wish to also thank the hotel organizer and the dedicated staff as well. Now, I don't say dedicated staff lightly, because without dedicated staff, it wouldn't have been as durable. And I'd also just like to say, excuse me, what I have spoken to a few brothers and sisters. You haven't lost your sister Jeevelyn, far from it, because if anything, you've actually gained a brother as well, because Jeevelyn and I are planning to return at least 4 months every year. And once again, thank you all very much. Thank you.